The key to freedom is knowledge. Just write these principles down. The key to freedom is knowledge. And the key to knowledge is truth. The key to knowledge is truth. And the key to truth is the manufacturer. I repeat, there's a principle. The key to truth is the manufacturer. Let's talk. The greatest enemy of man is not sin. The greatest enemy of man is not Satan. The greatest enemy of man is ignorance. Ignorance is the cause of all destruction. As a matter of fact, we blame so many things on this entity that we call devil that we've become irresponsible lately. We eat bad, get sick, and then blame it on the devil. Uh-oh. Ignorance is the major enemy of man. God says, my people perish, or they are destroyed because of a lack of knowledge. And because they have rejected knowledge, I must also reject them, and they cannot represent me. And then he goes one step further. He says, and I must also reject their children. Here's the point. If you don't know anything, and you teach your children what you know, then your children is as smart as you. Write this down. All I know is what I've learned. No matter how many books you bought, you only know the ones you read. Some of you bought books last year and haven't cracked the pages yet. And you show people your library and try and impress them with what you don't know. You bought videotapes and haven't burst the plastic on it yet. You bought cassette tapes and haven't listened to them yet. You see, buying information doesn't give you revelation. Now here's what God says about that. He says, because you have rejected knowledge, I must reject you. It's impossible to reject something that was not available. Therefore, your ignorance was a decision. 90% of the knowledge you need is right in your house in a book you never read. That's good. Every time you pass a library, knowledge incriminates you. God says you are perishing because you lack knowledge. So don't blame it on the devil. Don't blame it on your mother-in-law. Don't blame it on your teacher. Don't blame it on the school system. You don't need a teacher to learn. Some of you are blaming it on the education department. You don't need a professor to make you read a book. Knowledge is the key to freedom. But the key to knowledge got to be checked carefully. I used to think that knowledge was power. That's not necessarily true. Because you can learn the wrong thing. Jesus said the only thing that can set you free is not knowledge, but knowledge of the truth. Now I mentioned to you that truth, the key to truth is who? The manufacturer. What do I mean by that? The manufacturer is the only one who knows the truth about his product. Let me try it one more time. The manufacturer is the only one who knows the truth about his product. Everybody else is experimenting. Everybody else is guessing. And everybody else has opinions. The manufacturer knows the truth about his product. That's why you shouldn't get information from anyone else except the manufacturer. Don't even believe the retailer, because he's in business for sales. Oh, it helped me tonight. That's why I don't trust humans to tell me who I am. Don't depend on customers' experience to determine the value of a product, because some customers don't know how to use it. You all are slow here tonight. Many of us have literally allowed people to talk us out of good products because they abused it and it didn't work for them. Not because your marriage didn't work doesn't mean marriage doesn't work. Hello. You just didn't know how to stay married. You didn't follow the manufacturer's manual. You didn't follow the specifications. Are you understanding me? The truth about a product is only hid in the mind of the manufacturer. That's why manufacturers love for you to have their address. You're going to get this after I'm gone. When you buy a product and you open the box, you don't see the product first. You see a book first. And the book has written on it in bold letters, do not touch this product until you've read this manual completely. How many of you do that? Don't hold your hands up. And I know why you don't read it. You don't read it because you think you're smart. And because you think you're smart, that is why today you have a VCR machine in your house with 12 functions, and all you know is stop, rewind, pause, and play. Yeah, I got you. Now, tell me, why don't you know the other 8 functions? Why? Come on, talk to me, why? Yes, why? Because you did not read the manufacturer's manual. Now, that machine has the potential to produce 12 functions, but you are only experiencing 4. Therefore, you are living below the potential of the VCR. What is a manual? Write the word manual down. I want to show you something that will help you forever. The word manual is, if you check it, you'll see it's spelled this way. M-A-N-U. Do you see that there? Manu. It's from a Latin word which means to make or maker. Manu. Now, if you put the word manu and put another word next to it, factor, which is the factor that manus it, which means the factor that made the product, you have the word manufacturer. Are you with me? So a manufacturer is the factor that made the product. And the book that he sends with it never comes from the retailer. Manuals are never produced by wholesalers. Manuals are never printed by customers. It's called a manual because it's from the manufacturer, which means the manual means the maker's mind. Write it down. It means the maker's mind. What the maker did was took his mind and put it on paper and sent it with his product. So that when you read the manual, you're reading his mind about his product. And he's telling you, don't attempt to operate this product until you've read my mind completely. Why? Because I'm the only one who knows this product. Why? Because I made it. I designed it. I designed all of the circuits. I know the potential of my product. Now, the manual that you have with the product, if you ignore the manual, you are ignoring the mind of the maker. And if you ignore the maker's mind, then you are experimenting. People who have read the manual do not experiment. They know what to do. They know how to get out of the product what's in there. Because they know the mind of the manufacturer concerning his product. I want to invite you to consider where you came from. What company produced you? It's a good question. Sony produced Sony products. Mercedes-Benz produced Mercedes products. Toyota produces Toyota products. Well, I came from God Incorporated. Oh, hallelujah. And my company is eternal. It's not registered with the Dow Jones average. It's not on the stock market exchange because its value is too much. And my company that produced me is the only element that has the right to tell me the truth about me. When the manufacturer produced me, he had in his mind a purpose. Every manufacturer creates products for specific purposes. And the purpose for which they make the product determines the design of it and the ability of the product. Therefore, the key to knowing a product's ability and potential is not determined by your opinion of it. Let me take you one step further. Most of you came here in cars, and if you were to go outside and check your car, you'll discover something very strange. When you first buy a car, you sit in the driver's seat. If you check the speedometer registration, there's a number on that registration. The number of that car's registration may say 160. Some cars may say 210. Other cars may say even 280. Now, how could the manufacturer place on that registration of that speedometer that number? How can he tell you that this car can travel at 160 miles per hour? What gives him the audacity and the right to tell you, without your permission, that this automobile can travel at 160 miles per hour? He didn't ask you. And when he sold it, he placed it there, and he's daring you. He's telling you, try it. I guarantee that this automobile could travel at 160. I don't care what you think about it. I don't care what your opinion is. I made it, and I put in this car the horsepower and the piston power and the firepower to go at 160. You know, before they release the car, they test it first. So they're not asking you to test anything. It's already tested. They're asking you to use it. Now, if both for the last 30 years, 55 are 1 feet up, I should ask you, driving at 150, does that cancel the car's potential to travel at 160? No. Let me ask the question again. If you've been driving for the last 30 years at 55 miles per hour, does your experience cancel the car's ability? No. That's why you should not judge life by your experience. If the car is parked outside and you walk up to the car and you say this. Now this is how it works. You say to this car, you are stupid. Can the car still travel 160? Yes. If you say to this car, I think you dumb and ignorant and backward, can it still travel 160? Yes. You say to this car, I don't like your color. Can it still travel 160? Yeah. Your opinion does not affect the potential of the car. Please write that down. Opinions do not change potential. Therefore, what you think about the car is irrelevant to the car's ability. The problem is that most of us have accepted other people's opinions about us. Now here's a strange phenomenon. If you've been driving at 50 miles per hour all your life, but you are capable of 150, and I come and pass you at 60, then you are impressed. Isn't that crazy? Here you are driving 50 all your life, someone passes by making 60 miles per hour, and you go, wow. And what you don't realize is that you can make 160. The problem is, we are impressed by people who ain't doing nothing. That's why I never allow what you do to interfere with what I could do. As a matter of fact, I have come here to this conference tonight because I had to slow down to back up to some of you. Because you're going too slow in your life. And I've come to say to you, hey baby, press on it. Yeah. There's more inside of you than what you've done. God's not satisfied with your present accomplishments. And so don't allow people's opinions to interfere with your potential. Don't let anybody declare an opinion over your speedometer. Because God has buried in you untapped treasure. Society is a dangerous norm, and I don't want to be normal.